Hey guys,
Welcome back to the podcast, where you receive all the latest news in America.
First, the economic growth is currently at 42%. The economy grew a lot because of the mass production and because of our victory of World War I. The victory for the United States gave America the first global power experience. Mass production was a big part of the growth of our current economy. Mass production gave us new customers, new goods in every household. And mass production gave a new way of making things called the assembly line. The assembly line helped Ford reduce labor costs within the production process by moving the production from one team of workers to the next. And it helped make more of one thing instead of only making one at a time. And you could make 5 at a time. There are many new technology inventions. All of this helped the economy rise by 42%. In conclusion, this time the economy was booming.
Hey guys!
Today, we have Alex.
Hey guys. The 18th Amendment did not outlaw the possession or consumption of alcohol in the United States. It only prohibited the manufacturing, sale, and transportation of intoxicating beverages. The 18th Amendment did not outlaw the possession or consumption of alcohol in the United States. It only prohibited the manufacturing, sale, and transportation of intoxicating beverages. The 18th Amendment is repealed by Franklin D. Roosevelt because it was causing crimes and illegal liquor trafficking, and it made harsh enforcement techniques and a need for tax revenue during the Great Depression and a widespread defiance of the law. Some people who smuggled liquor were named runners and bootleggers. Bootleggers brought liquor from Canada and Mexican borders. That's all that is.
What's up, guys? My name's Fasih. And this is Alex.
Hey guys!
And now, criminals in sports. Al Capone, also known as Scarface, has officially been captured. He was carrying a concealed weapon 2 days ago on May 26 in Philadelphia. Al Capone was a threat to the government and citizens of America. The trial for Al Capone has officially ended. Capone was indicted by a grand jury, and the judge for the trial was Philadelphia Municipal Court Judge John E. Walsh. After the 18th Amendment was passed for prohibition, he made money from bootlegging. He made a multi-million-dollar operation in bootlegging, prostitution, and he dominated gambling and organized crime. He's currently getting transported to Alcatraz prison, where he will spend the rest of his time in there. Al Capone is big cheese. Catching him will bring out the mob, and it will lead to the fall of organized crime. Today, world heavyweight champion Jack Dempsey will be fighting Gene Tunney. People are putting bets on Jack Dempsey. We currently have 25,000 in the pool on Jack Dempsey and 10,000 on Gene Tunney. Seems our audience isn't a big fan of Gene Tunney. We also have some news from yesterday's boxing match. Yesterday's boxing match winner was Billy Misk. He beat Charlie Weiner by knockout. Multiple fights broke down after Billy Misk won because people were betting on Charlie Weiner. Law enforcement has arrested 30 people for severe aggressiveness, and multiple injuries have been happening yesterday. Tom Heaney called out Gene Tunney. This boxing match will take place in 4 days from now. Gene Tunney has announced that he will knock out Tom and retire, leaving the boxing competition. This fight will be interesting. These two have been going back and forth with insults. Next is Max talking about Winnie the Pooh and King Oliver.
Today, we're going to be talking about Winnie the Pooh and later on, King Oliver. Winnie the Pooh is a fictional character created by A.A. Milne in the 1920s. He's a lovable and friendly bear who lives in the 100-acre wood with his friends Piglet, Tigger, and Eeyore, and others. The character first appeared in the book Winnie the Pooh in 1926, which was followed by several other books, including The House at Pooh Corner in 1928. I lost my spot. Winnie the Pooh quickly became a beloved character among children and adults alike. His innocent and simple-minded nature captured the hearts of many readers, and his adventures with his friends in the 100-acre wood continued to be cherished by generations. Now, let's talk about the jazz musician of the 1920s, King Oliver. King Oliver was a highly influential jazz musician in the 1920s, known for his unique style and innovative playing techniques that helped shape the sound of jazz during the era of 1920. Oliver was born in Louisiana in 1881 and began playing cornet at a young age. He honed his skills performing in various bands and working as a freelance musician. In 1922, Oliver moved to Chicago and formed his band King Oliver and his Creole Jazz Band. This group is credited with popularizing the Chicago style of jazz, which was characterized by its syncopated rhythms, improvisation, and use of mutes and brass instruments. Oliver's cornet playing was at the forefront of his style, and his solos were marked by a distinctive tone and phrasing that set him apart from other musicians of his time.
The Cadillac is a self-starter, new and innovative feature that allows cars to start with the push of a button. The car also has electric lights, which are another advanced feature that has made safe driving at night. The car suspension is also advanced. Hopefully, we'll have flying cars in the next 40 years. The Cadillac with a double drop frame that provides better stability and more comfortable ride. The 1920s Cadillac is powered by a V8 engine that produced 70 horsepower. Alright, and then just stop that. The interior of the Cadillac was just as impressive as the exterior. The car had a spacious cabin that could accommodate to up to 6 passengers. The seats were made of high-quality leather and were comfortable for long journeys. The dashboard was made of wood, and it had a classic design with large gauges and controls that were easy to use. Cup holders and everything. The 1920s Cadillac has a beautiful, sleek exterior design. It was long, low-slung car with a rounded hood and a pointed radiator grille. I don't think that's grill. The car's body was made of steel, and it has a next page, glossy finish that gave it a luxurious look, and the headlights were rounded and large, which added to the car's bold appearance. What is up, guys? We're back on the channel with another banger video, and today I have a splendiferous, spectacular surprise for you guys. We are interviewing on today's podcast the Walt Disney, guys. This is fantastic. Everyone spam Walt in the chat if you like his movies, and let's get right into it.
Thank you, for having me, Ben.
Wonderful. You guys know, as February 14th is coming up, buy some Valentine's Day merch from the chat. So, Walt, how did you start your career as an animator?
All right, well, that's a good question. After the war, I returned to Kansas City, where I began my career as an advertising cartoonist. Here in 1920, I created and marketed our first original animated cartoons. And later, I perfected a new method of combining live action and animation.
Wow, that is really something. So,
some would say that I'm an inspiration to many.
Whoa. Well, speaking of inspiration, who's your inspiration?
Oof, that's
a tough
a
question.
good question. That's a good question.
Me personally, my inspiration is you, Walt.
Thank you.
You're just so beautiful. All right, so who's your inspiration?
To be frank, my inspiration was Heinrich Clay. In 1935, I traveled extensively through Europe and returned with a handful of pieces by the German artists.
Yeah?
Yeah. I was drawn to the drama and emotion of Clay's work, and I wished to achieve similar powerful visual narrative and sense of storytelling on the screen. It's just spectacular to me.
That's just beautiful, Walt. That's just beautiful.
I know.
All right, cut it for C. Okay, Walt, so this has been a pretty exciting interview so far. I'm sure the viewers are really happy, but we're not over yet. So, what do you think is the future of Disney And what will it look like in the years to come?
All right, well, the future is an interesting topic. I would say that if we constantly keep innovating and pushing the boundaries of not just animation, but also what Disney became as a business, was the company able to go from moderately successful animation studio to a complete entertainment experience. With theme parks, merchandising, cruise ships, and so forth, I mean, I think that there's a lot of unknown territory for Disney to explore later on in the future.
I can't wait to see that happen, Walt. It's so beautiful. All right. How did you get the idea for Mickey Mouse?
Oh, all right.
Yeah, everyone loves good old Mickey Mouse.
Everyone does love him. I love him
Speaking
too.
of Mickey Mouse, get your Mickey Mouse merch from Walt.shop on our
Valentine's
channel.
Day.
So, how did you get the idea for the character we all know and love, Mickey Mouse?
Who?
Mickey
Mouse? Okay. The inspiration I got for Mickey Mouse, you know, it really hit deep. From a tame mouse at a desk at Laugh-O-Gram Studio in Kansas City. That's where I got the inspiration from.
That's really beautiful. Alright, last question, guys.
Hello.
Hi. So, what made you fall in love with animation?
What made me fall in love with animation? I think the real question is, what made the viewers fall in love with me? But back to me.
Probably your beautiful eyes.
Thank you.
Okay, so.
Back to me.
What made
Please.
you fall in love
back.
with animation, Walt?
What made me fall in love with animation?
Yes.
As a show card and title man, some would say, at Film AD, I was entranced by the medium. The trick of making things move is what got to me.
Same.
I'd say my aspirations grew quickly beyond my day job, and I entertained ideas of making my own motion pictures just independently, and it all just happened on my own. See, being independent was a big part that really impacted the way I felt about animation.
Wow, that is really something. So, Walt, I just have a couple more, really quick questions. Is
I have
that
a
okay?
couple more really quick answers, Ben.
Okay, Walt. So, what made you, I know you're planning on opening a theme park. What made you want to share the love like that? You know?
Money.
Makes sense. So, I like money too, that's why I do this. Alright, once again, we'll see you next time, guys, on the podcast. I don't know who we're going to have next. It's probably going to be a banger.
Like usual.
Yep, like usual. So, Walt, thank you again for being on the podcast with your beautiful eyes and busy schedule, taking the time. And, yeah, we'll see you next time.